This video is intended to show you two methods to help you better manage the fields in your tables. For this example, I'll be using a sample feature class that I made of stores throughout Tallahassee. I've geocoded these from a CSV, and as a result, I've gained more fields from the process than I need. This can make it difficult sometimes to parse through the table and find records quickly. So therefore, there's two things I'm going to show you today on how to hide these fields or delete them, depending on which one you would rather do. So as you can see here, I've geocoded these points. I've taken them from a CSV, and it was simply just a list of addresses. But when I open up this table, the StreetMap Premium Geocoder has added a lot of extra fields, and you can see as I scroll through this, it's a little bit too much information. It's a little difficult to parse through, and you get lost in a lot of these numbers. And a lot of these are just repeats of things before. So I'd like to get rid of them or get this table down to be a little bit more manageable size. My original fields are over here all the way to the right. You can see store ID and address, city and zip, some pertinent information, but most everything over here to the left was added by the geocoder. It's important sometimes if it's things you need, like the matched address, it might be different than the address I gave it. That help you kind of correct it, but that's for a different time. So the first thing I can do is I can just hide some of these fields. I don't have to get rid of them per se, but I just want to shrink this table down a little bit. You can do that either individually or in a batch style from the properties. So to hide them, you simply can just right click on the field and you can say turn field off, and it'll hide that there. If you'd like to turn these fields back on, you can come to the table options and you can say turn all fields on, and it comes right back. The other thing that you can do is you can come into the properties and go to fields. You can see everything is visible here under the fields tab. And what you can do here is you can turn all fields off. If I hit apply, you see they all disappear right behind me. If I turn them all back on, they'll come back. So what I'd like to do here is I really only need some pertinent information. I just want to know the locator name, the score, maybe a few of the things out the bottom that I originally had. And I really want the X and Y. So if I hit apply, you can see that's a lot more manageable of a table, and I can pick out a lot more from that. The other thing you can do is you can sort them here through the table options. You can rearrange a few things. So if I want score to go up, and if I hit apply, it moved it ahead of locator name. So it's a nice way to organize your data and really see the things that you want to see. So the other more permanent option, if I turn all these back on, is to actually delete the fields and get rid of them permanently. You can't recover anything that you delete, so it's always good practice to maybe make a copy of this and work with the copy just in case you need to get back to the original for some reason. The reason you might delete these is if you're planning on exporting it or you'd like to merge it to another data set that might have less fields. For example, if your other data set only has these first 6 fields, you might want to delete all the rest and just merge this back in so it doesn't add all this extra information in there. So to delete fields, you can do the same thing just like hiding. You can either right click and you can just say delete field here and it'll get rid of it. It's a little time consuming to do them all one at a time, so if I want to get rid of all the fields to the left of my original data, except for the X and Y, what I would do for that is I would just come over here. I can hit the search button. I can type in delete field. It brings up data management as the first one we want. So if we open that up, my input table is going to be my test vendors. And then from here, I can just pick all the ones I want to get rid of. So I'll just select all. It's a little easier to do it this way, but I want to keep my X and Y. I want to keep my store ID and name and where it's at. And it's as simple as that. And you just hit OK. That's going to drop all of those from my data set. Okay, that went pretty quick. If you have a bigger record set, then it's going to take a while because it has to go through every row and delete those. But you can see here that if I open this back up, a lot of that extraneous information is gone. I'm only left with my X and Y now, and then my original information. A lot more manageable. I don't have to scroll left and right all the time. And if I export this and send it to somebody, I'm only giving them the information that I think they need rather than all of it. That was a very basic introduction into managing your tables. If you have any questions, you can contact me here, or you can go to the Esri online resources. This link here takes you to the delete field data management tool that I just used.